What's going on, fight fans? I'm back here with another video here set for you guys. Going to be talking about the boxing event that just concluded about a few hours ago. I believe it's the super welterweight or super lightweight junior welterweight division, whatever you call that type of division. I believe it was 140 title belt that was on the line, an international WBO belt between Regis Prograis versus Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall coming off that nice win against of Josh Taylor in the rematch that they had with a very, very close and controversial first fight that they had. And Regis Prograis, who's I believe already taken a year off from since fighting Devin Haney for the last time we seen him fight. So these two guys go to battle with each other. I will say, from the judges and how it was scored on the cards, I did not agree with that. I didn't have it on my card. I didn't put one out myself while watching this fight. But I did think that Regis Prograis did have a lot of success in the beginning and middle rounds towards this fight. I really liked his movement of how he had his footwork. Who's fainting a lot, being very jittery, very herky jerky, very awkward with his movement. Had a lot of success with that. Again, like I said in the middle and the beginning rounds, I think he had Jack Catterall confused a lot of the times, and I believe that's where Regis Prograis had a lot of success against Jack Catterall. But towards, once it got over the end, I believe it was the sixth or seventh round where it was called a knockdown for Regis Prograis, but it looked like on the replay it hit more of the chest, a little bit of the chin, but Catterall was slipping on his way down, so they count it as a knockdown. I don't believe it is a full flashed or hurt Catterall knockdown. I think again he slipped, and I want to be able to come back to this. Regis Prograis, again coming off a long layoff, being the veteran that he is, having the success in the championships that he's fought. He's fought high level talents against such as Devin Haney and Josh Taylor, losing to those two guys. And Jack Catterall, I believe, started to get his timing, especially once Regis Prograis started to stop his movement. I believe he got tired in there, keeping up that type of pace with that type of movement throughout the entire fight. It is very, very taxing on the body. And while I believe that Regis was boxing effectively, while he was standing more still and having a lot more opportunities for Jack Catterall, I think Catterall definitely had more success towards the back end of this fight. Once the ninth round began, Jack Catterall hit Regis Prograis with a nice 1-2 southpaw combination with that left hand towards the ear and the temple of Regis Prograis. Didn't really get a lot of recognition on the commentary booth and as well as the audience, but I definitely noticed as soon as he hit him with that 1-2, especially with that left towards the temple, it looked like it wobbled Regis a bit. It looked like there's where he actually hurt him. It wasn't just a flash knockdown after the fact. Uh, Catterall then landed a nice left hand on the chin of Regis Prograis, sitting him down after he just wobbled him. Regis Prograis seemed to be in a lot of trouble. And then after that, he gets knocked down again by another left hand that sits him down. And this looked like to be the end of the beginning for this fight. I thought Regis Prograis was going to get out of there. I think Jack Catterall was going to get a knockout. Um, Even though he doesn't have a lot of knockouts on his record, he definitely has some power in his hands. And while that was happening, moving on to the 10th round, Catterall took a more conservative approach. It didn't really go in there looking to slug and get Prograis out there because Prograis still has some power in his shots. Um, but then towards the end, Catterall seemingly overtook and dominated the rest of those rounds towards the end of the fight, even though Prograis had some chances and he had some shots that he landed with his own left hand as well. But towards that 12th round, his knee got hurt, his ankle got hurt. He was wobbly all over the place. He was missing shots very, very big and falling flat on his face. So I think this was a very close and competitive fight, unfortunately for Jack Catterall. But I think Regis Prograis had a really good fight. He did what he needed to be able to do to potentially get a closer decision, but I understand why they gave it to Jack Catterall, them also being in London as well. Um, but for Rougaroni, as you may call him, putting Baton Rouge and Louisiana on the map, He did what he needed to be able to do to have some type of success and possibly come back as a three-time champion. But I think it's time for him to hang it up for the boxing. I don't really see any other type of fights that he can be able to put in there to get his name back into contention, or possibly get some type of good momentum moving towards his way. I think he's done pretty much in his career, in my opinion, for Rugeroni. But he did put up a good performance, in my opinion, in this fight. And for Jack Catterall, I think was kind of disappointing. Even though he did dominate towards the end of the fight, I think the fight was a lot closer than what it was on the scorecards. I think Regis Prograis had a lot of success again in the middle and beginning rounds. But for Catterall, definitely he's going to be looking for a title belt eliminator. I think this was the eliminator, so he's definitely going to be looking for a title belt at 140. I think Tiafimo has a championship as of right now, but that's definitely a big name. Potentially a trilogy fight with Josh Taylor. You have the likes of Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. I don't believe Tank Davis fights at 140. I think he's at 135 still. But there's definitely a lot of names. There's definitely a lot of people in the pool for Jack Catterall to be able to fight in the future for him and his career. But it was a decent boxing fight. Nothing really. If you missed it, then you didn't really miss much. But definitely a good, entertaining fight, especially towards the end where it got a little hairy for Regis Prograis. Good performance and good outing from him, even though this is potentially his last fight of his career. And Jack Catterall, I expect a lot more out of him in his future, especially having the dominant, towards the end of the fight, dominant performance against Regis Prograis. Like this video if you obviously like this video, boxing fans. Comment your opinions on how you scored this card, if you scored this card, or if you believe Catterall definitely won by the margin that he definitely won, or you thought it was more closer to where I had it, in my opinion, while watching this fight. Subscribe, man. Subscribe if you want to be able to continue seeing more of this type of boxing content that I'm going to be able to be pushing for you guys. I got that good stuff for you guys all the time whenever it is fight night, especially when there's any type of boxing to be able to take note of. Thank you guys again for watching again, and peace.